Good evening, I'm Michael and you're watching Kini News, the show that brings you today's biggest stories. Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin has said that his administration is committed to combating corruption. However, 5 ministers in his administration have yet to declare their assets. Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin revealed in Dewan Rakyat today that 5 cabinet members in the Perikatan National Administration have yet to declare their assets.
Cuma setakat ini saya nak maklumkan daripada selarai kabinet 97% telah pun menyerahkan. Ada lagi 5 lagi. Jadi yang 5 ni saya tak payah sebut. Saya akan ambil perhatian berat dan minta supaya disegerakan supaya perkara itu akan disempurnakan juga. Demikian juga di peringkat timbalan menteri dan juga ahli-ahli parlimen daripada pihak kita. Jadi saya nak ucap tahniahlah pada pihak di sana yang saya dengar telah menyelesaikan. Pasal dalam pentadbiran yang dahulu semua telah isytihar. Tapi di sini banyak yang baru, jadi mereka memerlukan sedikit masa. Saya percaya akan disempurnakan dalam tempoh yang terdekat ini.
Responding to a question from Muar MP Ching on the status of asset declaration by the Perikatan National Cabinet, the Prime Minister also clarified on the time frame given.
Pertamanya dalam tata etika untuk isytihar ini sebenarnya bukan sebulan. Saya minta maaf, 3 bulan. Ya, Yang Berhormat bekas Menteri Undang-Undang pun ada mengangguk. Jadi oleh sebab itu masa yang telah diberikan bagi saya telah mencukupi.
The previous Pakatan Harapan government has set a precedent for all its MPs to declare their assets. Earlier on Monday, de facto Law Minister Taqiyuddin Hassan said in a written reply that PN would continue the practice of making asset declarations public on the MACC website. He said that as of July 6th, 43 MPs have yet to submit their asset declarations. Minister Khari was quizzed by his predecessor UPN over Lynas today. However, his answer wasn't what Yo was looking for. Science, Technology and Innovation Minister Khari gave a lengthy answer in Parliament today when asked by former Minister UPN if he agreed that the conditions for Lynas to continue operating its rare earth plant were now stricter than under BN's rule.
Ya, terima kasih kepada Khari yang merupakan mantan menteri yang menjaga AELB sebelum ini. Untuk makluman Yang Berhormat Menteri, pertamanya kalau kita lihat pada lesen asal yang dikeluarkan oleh AELB dan juga syarat yang dikenakan oleh MIDA, kita pun telah meletakkan 3 syarat.
Instead of directly answering this aspect of your question, Khari chose to focus on whether or not there were any conditions under which Lynas could lose its license.
Dan kalau sekiranya Lynas tidak dapat memulakan proses pembangunan PDF dalam tempoh masa 1 tahun daripada keputusan untuk dilanjutkan lesen itu dibuat, yakni pada bulan Mac tahun 2021, maka ya Khari, lesen itu boleh ditarik balik.
Tuan Speaker, saya menjemput Tuan Speaker, Menteri belum jawab soalan saya lagi.
Soalan
Tuan Nik Nazmi,
soalan
belum
jawab
lagi.
Terima kasih Tuan Yang di-Petua.
Soalan belum jawab.
Pohon duduk. Boleh ditanya secara bertulis.
Terima kasih.
Silakan Yang Berhormat Tuan Nik Nazmi.
Moments before this, Tanjung Karang MP Nooma accused Harapan of double standards, saying that he found it strange that when Harapan was in the opposition, it had strongly opposed Lynas, but was able to accept it once it was in power. To this, Khari said he had evidence of Harapan leaders protesting Lynas in 2012, which he shared with the House.
Mengikut rekod yang saya ada, berdasarkan kepada tanda tangan yang dibuat pada tahun 2012 di bawah kempen Harapan untuk Malaysia, tidak kurang daripada 13 Menteri Pakatan Harapan telah menandatangani ikrar untuk tutup Lynas sekiranya mereka membentuk kerajaan persekutuan. Ini rekod, nama-namanya ada di sini sekiranya nak dikendaki. Tetapi namun demikian, seperti mana yang kita tahu, Lynas bukan saja masih lagi beroperasi, tetapi dilanjutkan lesen di bawah kerajaan yang lepas.
In February, Lynas announced that its rare earth processing plant in Gebeng had received a 3-year extension on its operating license from the Atomic Energy Licensing Board until March 2023, and that the license renewal came with 4 conditions. With most parties already gearing up for GE15, what about the Election Commission, especially under new leadership? According to Minister Muhyiddin Yassin, the EC is ready.
Is the Election Commission prepared to face the possibility of an early general election? Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Muhyiddin Yassin, was asked this in Parliament today.
Suruhanjaya Pilihan Raya yang merupakan sebuah agensi yang amat berpengalaman dan komited dalam negara kita sentiasa bersedia untuk menghadapi kemungkinan berlakunya pilihan raya umum ke-15. Ini adalah penting bagi memastikan pengendalian perjalanan pilihan raya tersebut berjalan dengan lancar dan sempurna, terutamanya dalam tempoh pasca COVID-19. Sehubungan dengan itu, SPR telah membuat pelbagai persiapan dan perancangan yang menyeluruh yang meliputi aspek-aspek antaranya keperluan bajet pilihan raya, peralatan, logistik, pembangunan sistem, pengurusan sumber manusia dan latihan kepada petugas.
Muhyiddin said this in his reply to Padang Terap MP Mat Zahir Khalid, who wanted to know the EC's level of preparedness to face the possibility of an early GE15. Muhyiddin said other preparations for GE15 include having more polling stations in constituencies with a high number of voters and updating the electoral roll from time to time.
Yesterday, a student lodged a police report over inaction by over a sexual harassment case. Today, said they have taken action, but they can't reveal how.
University Malaya has come forward to state that action has been taken against a lecturer following claims that it had acted negligently in a sexual harassment case. Yesterday, a student lodged a police report against an associate professor and alleged that had refused to reveal the outcome of its internal probe. In a statement today, Vice-Chancellor Abdul Rahim Hashim revealed that had penalised the professor but did not detail what the punishment was, citing privacy concerns. Stressing that the top university took sexual harassment allegations seriously, Abdul Rahim said was committed to improving its manner of managing sexual harassment cases. According to the student involved, the lecturer had touched her inappropriately and uttered lewd comments at his office in
On 3rd June 2019, I was sexually harassed by a senior lecturer of in his department office. The actions he has committed include grip on my forearms and upper arms, inappropriate eye contacts, use his right hand to pat half of the left side of my hips, use his pellicule to press the back of my neck, hug me, ask questions invading my privacy, and attempted to use his index finger of his right hand to touch my chin but felt hence making contact with the cheek on my left side. So on 1st July 2019, I lodged a formal complaint to Integrity Unit via email regarding the sexual harassment case. I did not receive any replies from the unit until I went to the office myself to inquire them on 11 July 2019.
Student Union President Muhammad Haziq Azfar Ishaq told the media yesterday that he doubted that the professor was punished as he had retired last month.
The union are of the opinion that the mechanisms does not reflect any transparency and the integrity unit should review its current procedures. Since the victim felt that justice has not been restored, the victim has decided to lodge a police report against the perpetrator, and the union fully support the decision made.
Syed Saddiq had to leave Parliament early today because he had somewhere else to be.
Muar MP Syed Abdul Rahman was in Parliament today. However, he was forced to leave early after he was summoned by the MACC to assist in its investigations. This is believed to be in relation to the probe over missing cash from the former minister's home in Petaling Jaya. On Twitter, Syed posted a picture of him smiling on the way to the MACC with a caption reading, quote, "I am ready and will always cooperate fully with the MACC. My parents, entire family and I have long ago declared our assets to ensure transparency." In a subsequent tweet, he said, quote, "I have always acted with honesty and courage due to the truth." Previously, the lawmaker lodged a police report after allegedly finding 250,000 ringgit in cash missing from a safe in his home on the night of March 25th. Meanwhile, his lawyer Rafiq Rashid Ali said he hoped the MACC would take heed of ongoing Dewan Rakyat proceedings when summoning people for questioning. The case came amidst a leadership tussle in Bersatu, of which Syed Saddiq was the youth chief, as disputed party chairperson Dr. Mahathir Mohamad is engaged in a power tussle with party president Muhyiddin Yassin. The Bersatu youth faction aligned with Mahathir had accused the MACC of prosecuting opponents of the Perikatan National Government. However, the MACC had denied any political motivation, stating it was merely investigating the case.
Now we take a look at the country's latest COVID-19 situation.
The number of active COVID-19 cases in the country has dropped to just 77 after 12 people were discharged today after recovering. Meanwhile, the Health Ministry reported 3 new COVID-19 cases with no new deaths as of noon. Of the new cases, Health Ministry Director General Dr. Nurasham Abdullah said there was one imported case involving a Malaysian citizen returning from Nigeria. The 2 local transmissions involved one detainee at the Jalan Duta Immigration Detention Depot who was diagnosed prior to being transferred to another depot, and a non-citizen who was diagnosed in Sarawak following COVID-19 tests carried out by the patient's workplace. Of the active cases, 3 patients are being treated in intensive care while 1 required breathing aid.
More headlines after this, so don't go anywhere. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has decided to ban Huawei from Britain's 5G network, but Trump is taking credit for it.
US President Donald Trump said he was responsible for UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson's decision to ban Huawei from Britain's 5G network. On Tuesday, Johnson ordered Huawei equipment to be purged completely from Britain's 5G network by the end of 2027.
We confronted untrustworthy Chinese technology and telecom providers. We convinced many countries, and I did this myself for the most part, not to use Huawei because we think it's an unsafe security risk. It's a big security risk. I talked many countries out of using it. If they want to do business with us, they can't use it. Just today, I believe that UK announced that they're not going to be using it.
Following this, China warned Johnson on Wednesday that his decision to ban Huawei would cost Britain dearly in investment. China, whose $15 trillion economy is 5 times the size of Britain's, warned the decision would hurt investment as Chinese companies had watched as London dumped the national telecoms champion. As Britain prepares to cast off from the European Union, fears over the security of Huawei have forced New York-born Johnson to take sides in the rivalry between the United States and China. In Beijing, the Foreign Ministry cast Britain as, quote, a relatively small place that has become subservient to the United States. Britain has become increasingly reliant on Chinese exports. Some 9% of all goods imported into Britain in 2018, worth £43 billion, came from China, double the proportion from 15 years earlier. But British companies have also invested increasingly in China. Between 2013 and 2018, they have more than doubled their investment position in the world's number 2 economy to £16 billion, according to official British data. By contrast, Chinese investment in British companies stood at £1.8 billion in 2018, far below that of the United States, which is the biggest single foreign investor in Britain. Trump identifies China as the United States' main geopolitical rival and has accused the Communist Party-ruled state of taking advantage over trade and not telling the truth over the novel coronavirus outbreak, which he calls the, quote, China plague. Washington and its allies say Huawei technology could be used to spy for China. Huawei has denied this.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'll be back with more tomorrow, same time, same place. I'm Prasad Michael. Thank you for watching.